Overregulation impacts all Nebraskans. Heavy-handed EPA regulations have hurt Nebraska's farmers and ranchers. Out-of-date FDA regulations have restricted innovation and economic growth for promising new health IT startup, and the industries that provide us with affordable, reliable energy to power our homes or fill our gas tanks are forced to comply with impossibly high environmental standards.
We hear about the war on coal, and you hear about that as well. A lot of people in Nebraska think there is because we have those coal-fired plants. And do you think it's fair to say maybe the EPA has somewhat of a war on coal?
When I asked Nebraskans to identify specific regulations hurting their businesses, many pointed to a misguided rule for on-farm fuel tanks. I introduced an amendment adopted by the Senate to ease these regulations, which would save Nebraska ag producers thousands of dollars. And when OSHA tried to assert regulations meant for large farming operations on small family farms that are traditionally exempted from these rules, I joined Senator Johans and 41 of our colleagues in sending a letter to Labor Secretary Perez requesting an immediate end to this overreach. In response to our efforts, OSHA backed down.
Both the number and reach of federal regulations being churned out by federal agencies is reaching historic highs.
Ignoring the constitutional realities of separation of powers.
That's what he said.
Right.
We'll do by executive order if we can't get Congress to go along.
I think he's overusing his executive power.
Instead of working with elected representatives, the president is working around Congress through executive orders. That means more red tape and less congressional oversight. That's why I'm co-sponsoring the Enforce Act, a bill that reestablishes checks and balances and promotes accountability within the executive branch. I also support the REINS Act to further boost accountability. From 2009 to 2011, 106 new major regulations were imposed on American businesses and job creators, costing more than $46 billion annually. The REINS Act requires Congress to approve all major new rules proposed by the executive branch, ensuring our constituents have a say. Sometimes regulations are simply outdated. I introduced a bipartisan bill to ease FDA regulation of low-risk health technology, like mobile health apps that can determine a person's heart rate or provide a refresher course on CPR. My bill promotes innovation, supports job growth, and protects patient safety. While I'm proud of the progress we've made, there's still more work to do to push back against the federal government's heavy hand. I look forward to continuing this fight to cut through the red tape, and I encourage all Nebraskans to contact my office about challenges you are facing due to overregulation. Together, we can bring some Nebraska common sense to Washington and eliminate the misguided rules hurting hardworking families.